Hello lights, it's your girl, North here, and today I'm back at with another Animal Jam video, and that is not my usual introduction, but I guess we're just going right into it. Okay, so before the video, I'm sure you're all expecting me to talk about the elephant in the room, Animal Jam changing their name to Animal Jam Classic, and though I definitely have some opinions on this, I'm not gonna make an entire video on that, because you guys have probably already seen like a dozen videos on this, and I'm not just gonna repeat what other YouTubers have already said, so I'm just gonna say two things. One, I'm not gonna call Animal Jam Classic. It will forever be Animal Jam to me. That's what I've called it for 5 years. That's not gonna change. Two, when I made a video titled Animal Jam Classics, I didn't... Okay, anyway, into the point of this video, today we'll be talking about people quitting Animal Jam. Now, I'm not quitting Animal Jam, but this is more just a discussion about when people quit. I notice they have all these horrible things to say about the game, and we're kind of going to deduce why that is. Now, when people quit the game, a lot of the time, they don't just realize they've lost interest and quit right away. A lot of the time, they kind of try to stretch it out. They kind of try to extend a timer that's already up and kind of rejuvenate their interest in the game. And I'm not saying that's not possible. Sometimes people are just going through a slump or a temporary period where they're not interested in the game. That's okay. But there's a difference between a temporary loss of interest and just not being interested anymore in Animal Jam. But it's not as okay to continuously lie to your fans and to yourself saying that you love this game, you love this game, you love this game. Because I understand that it's hard to quit, but you can't lie to yourself because that's not gonna do anything good for you. That's only gonna make you hate the game more. And look, as a fellow YouTuber, I completely understand that it's hard to quit. I've played this game for like 5 years, and obviously I don't log in that often unless it's to make videos, but like, I understand that it would be upsetting to leave it behind, the fan interaction. Even if you've generally lost interest in video making, there's always going to be those moments of gratification. But you really have to draw the line in terms of where you lose interest in it, where you lose passion. And I'm not saying you have to love every second of making videos. Like, obviously it's a lot of work, and it's okay to not really have the motivation to make videos every once in a while, or just to not want to do it sometimes. YouTubing is awesome, but it's also a dedication, and it's a lot of work. So of course I understand that it's kind of hard to draw the line somewhere. But there's a difference between not always being motivated to make videos 100% of the time and just not being motivated to do it at all, and only like looking for those small moments of like fan interaction as gratification. And of course it's hard to leave behind a community that you love and the people in it that watch your videos. Of course, I understand as a fellow YouTuber, I may not like be quitting Animal Jam, but I can understand how if you were to quit, it would be hard to say goodbye to that stuff. But you can't force yourself to be interested in something. You just can't. And if you do, then you're gonna get to the point where you absolutely hate it, and it's like the worst part of your day. And at that point, like when you quit, because you are gonna quit, nobody can stay interested forever, and if you lose interest, it's only a matter of time before you quit, and when you quit, you're gonna have all these horrible things to say about the game. I'm not saying this community is perfect. It has some toxic people, the game has been a little slow on updates, and, you know, it is a kid's game, so as you grow older, it becomes less and less interesting. But this community is not as horrible of a place as some people make it out to be. And I'm not throwing shade at people who've quit, or just anyone in general. You are allowed to have a negative opinion on this game, obviously, but just, I don't know how to say this. It just kind of annoys me when people always say they totally hate the game, and it's terrible, and it's only bad, and they see it that way because they once liked it, but they continuously tried to convince themselves that they were still interested in it when they weren't. And I'm not saying you completely have to quit. Even if you stop making videos, you can still log on to the game every once in a while, like I do, and just like, you know, what's up in Animal Jam? Or like, still make videos every once in a while, but you have to come to terms with the fact that if you don't like doing something regularly anymore, you can't do it regularly anymore. You're gonna hate it more, and it's gonna be so much of a chore for you, and you're gonna hate it. And it's also not going to be fun for people in this community, because when you quit, you're going to have all these horrible things to say about the game that are not necessarily true. I've noticed when people quit, they either say, oh, like, there's nothing new in the game, or this game is toxic. And I'm not saying there aren't valid reasons to quit, but I'm just saying that if people would actually quit when they actually lost interest and didn't try to continue, like, stretching things out so much, it wouldn't have gotten to this point. It wouldn't have gotten to a point where when you quit, you hate the game. Personally, when I do lose interest in making Animal Jam videos, I hope that I will have the courage to admit it to myself instead of lying to you guys, so that when I do quit, I have all these horrible things to say, because I love this game. I love Animal Jam, I love the Animal Jam community, and I love and respect the people in it. And I don't think it's fair to completely just because I've lost interest in Animal Jam to completely diss it. Again, you're allowed to have a negative opinion on the game, but I notice a lot of people, specifically when they quit, just completely dissing Animal Jam because they had just lost so much interest in it. They had continuously tried to recapture that interest and just tried to be interested in something that they didn't like. And doing that is not gonna help anyone. It's only gonna, like, hurt you. Because this game might not be perfect, but I've just noticed that a lot of people have really just dissed this game a lot and not given it the credit it deserves. Sure, this community is not perfect. Like any community, it has some toxic people. In fact, I made a whole video on how people exaggerate the toxicity aspect of the community, but this community, not perfect. And I'm not saying you are not allowed to have a bad opinion on it, but I'm saying a lot of the time those bad opinions drive from the fact that people once had interest in the game and now they don't. You're allowed to have your opinion, but it's also not really fair to say all these horrible things about this community just because you don't like it. If you like making Animal Jam videos, make Animal Jam videos. If you don't like making Animal Jam videos, don't make Animal Jam videos. It's really that simple. I feel like people just tend to not give this game as much credit as it deserves and have many negative things to say about it that are, like, exaggerated a lot, or either based on just a bad experience. And this video is not directed to people who have already quit, because it's kind of like, you know, they've already quit, they've already acknowledged they don't have an interest in the game and quit, and that's great. But this video is aimed at people who are thinking about quitting. Don't force yourself to be interested. That's not gonna help you, and it's not gonna help anyone else. And you don't have to completely leave this game behind if you don't want to. But if you are tired of regularly making Animal Jam videos, then you have to come to terms with that. And you never have to think anything that you don't want to think. But, like, there's a kind way to say you don't like this game, and there's another way that is just straight up dissing it. I think people should quit the game at a point where they've lost interest, yes. They still have a certain amount of respect for this game, for this community, and for the people in it, instead of just straight up hating it. I feel like sometimes people, when they quit, will kind of, like, be like, oh, you guys shouldn't play this game, ugh, it's so horrible, blah blah blah, and kind of telling people who do like the game that they shouldn't play it. And it's not fair to do that just because you don't like the game to say that no one else should, or that no one else should play it. But whatever, that's just my opinion. You guys can debate in the comments. I honestly don't know what this video was. It was kind of all over the place, but this was just something I wanted to put into a video. So anyways, guys, that's all I have for you today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay colossal, possum, and fantastic.